Good morning, guys. 6 a.m. and this is the second day of Toura-Tech advanced training. Here's my little setup. So most of the guys are still sleeping, I guess, and some of us already woke up and started packing to get ready for the day. As I mentioned earlier, usually the second day is a little bit more tough because we get into a more advanced exercises, and then we build up on what we have learned the first day and we apply today. So it's a matter of applying what we've learned and then adding on it with today's training. Almost done packing. It's 7:30 a.m. and now we're heading toward the morning brief, after which we're going to start the second day of the training. The guys getting ready for the day. I guess most of the guys are packed already.
We're gonna go easy on you today. Well done.
Guys, what we're gonna do this morning is we're all going out here in one group and we're gonna do a little bit of a warm-up ride. We're gonna go to the other side of the dam over there, or in the dam, should I say. When you do the ride, start focusing on what you're doing. Remember to look up, stretch the body a little bit, get into the turns, move your body, and then we're going to make our way back down to where we did the ascents. Alright? Because we need to do some more ascents.
And then we will teach you how to take off.
Yeah, joking. No, we're going to go down there and we're going to put a little bit of emphasis on the descents. Alright? Because there were quite a few questions yesterday, so we're going to work on that a little bit. And then from there we'll carry on with the new exercise. Are there any questions?
Alright, so we're off for the first half of the second day. Leaving the campsite right now.
We go through it and make sure that everybody knows exactly what to do. Yesterday afternoon we did some ascents over here in the rocky section. If you get to a descent which is very rocky, loose rock, big rocks, and it's not a very long descent, then you would probably find you're going to stay off that brake. Remember, our primary brake is our front brake. It remains your primary brake on the dirt, and it is the brake to use on a descent. The reason we don't use a rear brake on a descent is because if we hit the rear brake, the back wheel will lock up and it will start to slide. Alright, now here I see a lot of the roads are very level, but often you'll find mountain roads, mountain passes, they always lean to one side. In other words, they have a camber, and that's so that the rainwater can obviously wash off. Alright? If you hit your rear brake on that and it starts to slide, where's the bike going to go? Down. It's going to go down that camber, correct? And you can't control it. Now where I come from, and hopefully one day some of you might experience it as well, we've got some very high mountains, very high roads, and very steep cliff faces. If you hit your back brake there, the bike slides. I always tell the guys there, make sure you jump off before the bike goes over. Alright, because it will. You will lose it and it will go down. Alright, never to be seen again. Okay, alright. So therefore it is imperative that you remain on the front brake. But now it doesn't help going down the slope and halfway down you think, oh, I'm going a bit fast, it's rocky, I want to use my front brake. Then it's too late. We need to
Stop the wheel from turning, it's going to push a rock. As soon as it pushes a rock, it's going to move me. Okay, so you're going to wash the front end. If it was a smoother surface, then we would apply a little bit of front brake to it. So all I'm going to do on this is simply, I'm in second gear, I'm going to start the bike, I'm going to pull the clutch in. I'm not going to be using any of the engine braking because it'll slide. It's a loose surface, guys. It'll slide. Anything like this, you want the wheel to just turn. You want to almost just run down it. Okay.
Alright, we're learning the technique of going down the hill right now. Here are the riders lining up for the technique. So we're doing it with brakes and without brakes. The technique of going downhill. Here's everyone lining up, going on to the brakes technique.
of what you need to do on the descent. It's making sense. Right, guys, you need to build the confidence. You can squeeze that brake so hard, you will be fine as long as you look up. Alright, think in your mind that I actually want to stop. That's when you have control of the motorcycle. Right, so you squeeze it, so you can actually bring it to a stop. What happens if you need to stop on the hill? What happens if there's something there? You have to stop. You need to be able to squeeze there. Alright, so don't be afraid of it. Get the confidence. We're going to do another exercise here on the hill now. We're going to demonstrate the exercise for you, but you're not going to do it. Alright, the reason that you're not going to do it is we'll be here all day with one exercise. Alright, we're going to do hill recovery. Alright? If you're going up a hill and you haven't got enough momentum and you stop, or there's an obstacle and you have to stop, you can't pull off halfway up. No brakes. So what happens if I pull the front brake? It's going to slide. Then it's out of control. So we just use the clutch. Now we feather the clutch. You do this. Pop, pop, pop. Until you get to a point where you can pull the clutch in. And there's what we call the biting zone. It will just engage and you can control the descent all the way down. Does that make sense, guys? Yes. Try and get the bike as straight as possible.
Alright, so we're just done from two exercises we did this morning, and now we're going for the ride, another ride, and after that we're going to carry on with the first half of the second day. So we just made it for probably the most interesting exercise for the day, which is the jump. So I think that's going into the brief now, and then we're gonna kick jump from here.
Hey guys, you want to come and stand up here quickly, just on the side? Suspension. Okay, why would we want to do that? Can anybody tell me?
Jump area.
Jump?
Jump area.
Jump, 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 jump. But you're not too far wrong there. By compressing the suspension, we do basically two things. We squash the back of the bike, which means the front extends. Okay, so we're doing that with the bike when we compress. If we're standing in the middle of the bike, we do this, we're compressing both together. Okay, and we'll use different scenarios for how we actually approach and bounce a bike. If you want to learn to wheelie, you'll bounce the bike in the middle and then you put your weight back. And then the front comes up. Okay? If you want to jump, what happens is as you come up to the lip and you're approaching, if that's the lip, the front wheel hits first, correct? So what does the suspension do? Compress. Then it goes up. And then, but what's the back suspension done? Open. Because when this goes pop, what does this do?
Down.
This compresses. And when that compresses and the back gets over the lip, it goes and kicks the bike up into the air. Okay, so if you're just riding normally and you hit that, what happens? The front compresses, lifts, squashes the back, and then pops the back.
Aeroplane, you don't have wings. It's technique. Get the bounce right, and as it comes up, you give a little bit of throttle. But down, up, and then you'll go.
So the throttle after you compress.
Compress, and as she's coming up, you give throttle. As she's coming up, you flip the throttle. Alright.
So we're just done from the jump exercise. We're going on another ride right now before we go to lunch. What time is it? It's 20 to 12. The jump exercise, as I mentioned, is one of my favorites. You have to learn a lot on how to jump. Day 2, and we just made it to the lunch spot again. Gonna have a lunch break, rest a bit, probably debrief on what happened the first half of the day, and then after that we're gonna go into the second half of the day exercises, after which we're gonna all head back home. Almost there. Okay. After the second half of the day, we're going to the last exercises of the full training. I think we're gonna go to 2 more exercises, and we're going to be done from the full training.
Some of you are getting the power really good. Alright? This takes practice. The most important thing is look where you want to go. The bike will go where you look. If you don't look in the right direction, it's not going to go there. Okay, and this is where it's going to become very, very important now. We're going to do the camel turn. Alright, Brandon's going to show you and I'll talk you through it. Basically what happens with the camel turn, you want to lean the bike over as much as you possibly can before it falls. Alright? You want to look at your carry bag on the back of the bike. That's where you want to look, nowhere else. If you look there, it's not going to work. You've got to look behind you, there, lean the bike as much as you can, and then look into it.
Right.
Yeah, the bike is, if he lets it go any more, it will fall. Alright, so you want to get it to that point where it's just about to go, that's when you do the throttle. Alright, and he's looking behind him. If he looks there, he's going to go there. He wants to go in a circle here. Does that make sense?
As the bike adjusts, he will adjust his lock.
It will stay like that. I'm already looking there.
Okay.
It will stay like that.
So all that's happening is that my body is moving towards my head.
Okay. And your head is stable.
If I keep my head here, I'm just going to do a donut.
Okay.
You see?
Okay.
So now we're on to the brake sliding exercise.
Very stiff, very stiff. Must move.
Alright.
See how stiff he is?
Yeah.
You need to be able to move.
Alright.
Just standing like this. Okay, then. سجلت معك حلوة. You don't have to go fast. You just need to get the technique right. So give it a good power to spin. We still get the brake slide. You still shift your weight as if you were doing the turn. Make sense, guys? Yes. Right. So you're still shifting the weight. A little bit of foot brake pressure if I'm turning to the left. A little bit of foot pressure on the left. I shift my weight to the right. On the brake. Look in the direction you want to go. Once again, looking is very, very important. Look in the direction you want to go. Hit the back brake and allow it to slide. Okay?
Right, so we're done from the braking exercise. And now we're going to go into a quick ride. After that, going to have the last exercise for the day. Alright, so we just got into another rig. We're on the top of the mountain here. Everyone is gathered, the entire group is gathered. All the riders just came together for a little break here, probably with a happy picture.
And it's what would happen if you were on your bike and you came to a ledge and you had to go down, but it's too steep for the front wheel to go down. So what happens is the front wheel goes over and then you get stuck on the engine, on the bash plate, okay? And then you end up spinning up at the back, pushing forwards, backwards, okay? So what we've got to do is rather hit this with some momentum rather than just trying to put the wheel over the top. Okay, sometimes you'll come over and it'll do this and it'll land on the front wheel and then drop on the back wheel and carry on going. But what we're going to do is we're going to use a technique that we learned today. Any idea what it is?
With the wheel back.
Correct, it's not just for jumping. Okay, it's also used for launching yourself off obstacles to land straight. Remember, if we ride over the bump and we don't compress, what happens? It's the same thing here. We don't compress, it just goes front forks drop, the back goes ping. You land on your nose. When we compress, the suspension will squat, lift with the throttle. What does the throttle do? Lifts up the nose. So we compress and squeeze at the same time, and we hold it, and it will launch the bike to land straight on the bottom over here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's exactly the same technique. Squat and throttle.
No, the
Yeah.
timing of the push is sometimes difficult.
Correct. You're going to do this just before you launch.
So as
Okay. So as you're coming up to it, if you do it here, it's too late.
what's going to happen?
You want to do it here. So I've compressed and throttled. The suspension drops. The back stays down because I'm throttling, and the nose comes back up. Okay? Rather do it a little bit too early, but more throttle than too late. If you do it too late, all you're doing is just compressing the back. The front's already gone, so it goes whoop. Okay. The good news is you're not going to use this one.
Team now is practicing the jumping exercise. Wow, this was good. Oh, here is the end of the training. We're done. We're having the last ride towards the campsite, and then I think we're gonna take it from there going back home. Such beautiful 2 days, full of nice skills, beautiful experiences. We have a lot to learn. Such a great community in the UAE, and it's only growing. We've had a great time, and see you in the next one.